Congressman Shri Thanedar does not like Doge, he does not like deportations, and he really does not like Donald J. Trump. And so, our diminutive Detroit Democrat introduced 7 articles of impeachment last night against the president while he was overseas.
Madam Speaker, I rise today to hold this president accountable. The fact of the matter is, the president has committed crime after crime. I'm not concerned about whether this is the right time or if there are enough votes from my colleagues across the aisle. So I call on my colleagues, Democrats and Republicans, to do what's right. Impeach Donald J. Trump.
Man, I love Detroit. Thanedar accuses Trump of high crimes and misdemeanors, including obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and violations of the Constitution. Specifically, Thanedar claims Trump ignored the Supreme Court when it ruled that the president must try and facilitate the re-importation of Salvadoran gangbanger Kilmar Obrega Garcia so that he might be re-deported properly. Also, that Trump is illegally cutting government waste through Doge, and that the Associated Press must be allowed back into the White House press briefings even if it refuses to call it the Gulf of America. Trump supporters accused Thanedar of staging political vaudeville in a ruse to raise money for his floundering campaign committee, which is $11 million in debt to Thanedar himself. So we caught up with Thanedar at his impeachment town hall last weekend to set the record straight. That's right, we did that. I can report there were 27 attendees, including the congressman, his staff, 2 cops, a janitor, a grandbaby, my cameraman, and me. Suffice it to say, I've seen more excitement at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting.
You're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages at your pharmaceutical
I love
testing.
animals. See, look, I love animals.
Yes, he does. He loves beagles to death. And if there's anything in life that Detroit Congressman Shri Thanedar loves more than beagles, it's impeaching Donald J. Trump.
You want to impeach Trump again, and why is that? Is it 3rd time's the charm?
Well, look, he has done unconstitutional activities, broken the law.
Give me a list.
Well, look, he has deported people that without due process.
You mean Obrega Garcia?
Yes, he has.
He did get his process, though. He got adjudicated to be deported.
Yeah, well, look, the Supreme Court asked him in a 9-0 decision to facilitate bringing Mr. Garcia back.
Okay.
And he refused to do that.
What if we brought him Garcia to Guantanamo? Would that satisfy you?
Well, look, so he defied Supreme Court orders.
Is this a fundraising stunt? Your campaign owes you $11 million. Why not just forgive the loan? Are you not worth the money?
I always forgive the loan. That's what happened when I ran for governor, and not a penny of my loan was paid by the campaign, and I forgave it. And that's what it will end up happening.
It will end up happening.
Yeah, because
it's still on the books, though.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah.
A little trivia. Where is the Hitsville Museum?
Which museum?
Hitsville.
I don't know.
What are the 5 Grosse Points cities?
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that I'm going to fight for the people of Detroit. I'm going to fight for my constituents.
And Grosse Pointe.
And all of the Grosse
Taylor.
Points and all of Taylor and every part of the 13th district.
Okay, I'm just do this real quick. Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay.
Right.
You know, on your campaign filings, it says occupation. Yours says United States government. Aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you fix that one. Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages at your pharmaceutical
I love
testing.
animals. See, look, I love animals. My family loves animals. We have raised a beagle, a Shiva. Those are all, attacks, political attacks on me. I love animals.
Is there an explanation real quick?
I have been awarded by the Humane Society. They've given me 2 awards as the best legislator in protecting animal rights. So my record is good.
Six beagles rescued from Shri's bankrupt
We
laboratory.
believe that they have never been outside ever.
I don't think that they've actually had their paws on the grass.
Yeah, I don't know what all the problem is with it anyway, because those beagles were going to die because they're getting tested anyway, so.
Look, I love animals. Thank you.
Vegetarian?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. This is good. A couple of the co-sponsors pulled their name off of the impeachment papers. Why is that?
Well, they have a right to do that.
Of course they do. Why'd they do it?
I don't know. You'd ask them.
See you, thank you. It's Congressman Shri Thanedar, the 13th Congressional District, here at the town hall meeting on the Trump impeachment process. Sure to be a barn burner here on this Mother's Day weekend. Let's go inside, shall we?
Live from downtown Detroit, it's the No Bullshit News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff, and Karen Dumas.
Just breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
Karen, what do you make of that?
I don't even know where to start. I really don't. It's really sad. It's unfortunate, but I like the questions that you ask him, Charlie. And I bet if you asked a lot of elected officials, they could not answer those questions. I mean, in terms of their constituents and who they are supposed to be representing. So it's unfortunate.
I mean, this is the guy that donates to himself. That's pretty much it.
Well, he bought his campaign. I mean, his election. He bought his seat. That's no secret.
He moved from Ann Arbor to Detroit.
Exactly.
He doesn't know where Hitsville Museum is.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Because
I really don't.
Trying to remain nonpartisan, I will tell you, like, in the last 7 days, Trump did strike a UK trade deal. He did broker a ceasefire with India and Pakistan. He got the last American Hamas hostage out. Signed an executive order lowering drug prices to the prevailing world price. There are China talks. And Saudi's kicking in $600 billion in investment. I don't know. I lived through Biden.
And a plane.
In a plane. I wonder if
Let's not forget the plane. The plane.
Why is the plane the thing? Why is the plane the thing when we got a trade deal?
I think and it's pretty nice. That sounds nicer than the one that Drake has. It sounds pretty nice.
You know how many nuclear warheads India and Pakistan got combined? Like
How many?
350. And this one gets lost. And they were
that's true.
they were having dogfights with jets. That's kind of a big deal.
I would think so.
But, you know, when the AP is not allowed into the White House press briefings, which I never been in one. Jedidiah, you ever been in one? No. They never let us in. We're not suing. Oh, by the way, last week's guest who was disappeared by the police, Jedidiah Brown of Investigate and Advocate, maybe the country's coolest rabble rouser. Like, welcome aboard, man. It's good to see you.
What's up, man, Charlie?
Okay, so I called you, like, what happened? First of all, your jailers said what about solitary? I said you were in solitary. I was just working on breaking news.
You said what did they say about it?
Yeah.
They didn't have me in solitary confinement.
They said, tell your guy you're not in solitary confignment. No, we want to get
They
it.
were listening. So.
We want to get it right here.
Who's not paying attention to Charlie? Like, did you just see that report?
Pull that up a little bit,
That was
man.
crazy.
Yeah, what do you make of that? Well, first of all, were you in a cell alone?
Yes.
Well,
That's solitary.
he would be solitary. For the record.
Jail cell is confinement.
Yes.
So technically, yeah.
And what do you make of that? What'd you make of our great leader there?
I thought that was kick ass. Like, I loved it. I didn't want it to stop. Like, keep it going. Like, you got him. You got him where he needs to be.
So what are you doing in Flint, dude? And what happened to you?
So Flint is actually pretty interesting because, man, I think most people in the country thought that Flint's issues was resolved. I think I saw your governor on the Breakfast Club said that the water's fixed, but now they're celebrating the 11th year commemoration of the water crisis. Definitely, I was shocked at the amount of blight, the amount of bandos, like on mostly every block, the streets. Really. Flint,
What are the people
crazy.
like, though? What is their attitude? They've been so resilient and unbelievably unbelievably patient throughout this. Talking to the people, what's the read on them? How are they doing?
I think that they've lost at some point they had lost a sense of hope, and they just kind of just like learned to just stick tough through accepting whatever they're being dealt with. And there are some amazing, some beautiful, some resilient people there, but they've been I think, in my opinion, they've been mishandled, and they've kind of sort of lost their voice. And so we've been breaking up the cement, and people are ready to speak again.
So you got a call.
I got a lot of calls.
There's a lot of calls.
A ton.
I think we got to go back before we talk about what happened to you at Flint. You might famously be known for Dalton, Illinois, the mayor of the township there, and she was getting paid, what, $350,000. Nobody was watching. And they put out the bat signal to you, and you showed up.
The bat signal's crazy. Yeah, they took the head off and threw it in the air, Charlie. You know what that's about. So anyway, they threw the head. I went and just basically went to go try to figure out about a sexual assault, and then I met and I tried to like engage this mayor, Tiffany Hinyard, and she was arrogant, she was oppressive, and it turned into a year-long fight, and now she doesn't have neither one of her seats. Congratulations, Tiffany. She might be going to federal prison too.
Yeah, well, Mark's more of an expert because they've been talking about you on his other programs.
Mark's cool.
Mark's super cool.
Yeah, he's right.
Mark,
I don't know about that.
He's blushing.
This is basically the guy that turns you on to that.
Yeah, I mean, we followed her a lot, but then of course you got into a little rumble there at the town hall. But she is a prime example of just not being checked by anybody. And then when her own counsel tried to check her, she vetoed everything and shook businesses down. I mean, just a bad person. Not to mention her own birthday party she threw for herself.
And the checking is like crazy because what I find in these cities is like the government is supposed to like, even though it's like self-sustained in your jurisdiction, but there's like accountability measures. They never seem to work. It's mind-blowing.
So, straight up question. Do you go to like majority black cities because everybody else is ignoring them, afraid to take it on? Because there's a lot of money in poverty, dude.
I'm gonna be honest, like not until recently, I haven't gotten any calls from any white communities to come help until like recently.
I love
so
it.
all of my calls.
What white community called you?
That is something that I'm gonna tell you right now, but trust me, it's something. It's
Could be
some
breaking news
it's
right
some
here.
big stuff that's coming, and,
Okay.
and I've been getting calls actually.
Wait,
but
it's not
nationwide,
Detroit,
though.
is it?
No, honestly, like the Dalton situation put me in a different category. Like I'm getting calls from across the country, and everybody feels that they're going through this in some shape, form, or fashion, and it's just been fascinating.
Yeah. How do you describe your process?
So I started literally just like every other advocate, just trying to be heard. And we were marching. We were marching around buildings. They were marching in the streets, just marching. You never get a response. You never get any results. You never get to meet with anybody. And I said, forget that. I have to keep looking at this thing to know that I can.
That's not what you said.
I wanted to say something else. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck
it.
So I said, fuck that. And I just decided to take a more direct approach. And I do it. I learned to, just don't be doing it in ignorance, but I do research. I have an investigative team that I work with. It's called Investigate and Advocate. And we try to get down to the facts. And when you do the coolest stuff, like what I just saw you do with the state, with the what's he, a senator? Congressman. What I just saw you do, that's what America needs. We need to not be unlawful, but we need to confront these things directly. Because marching around a building, nobody's ever going to hear. But when I show up at your door, now we have, and I know what I'm talking about, it's a different response.
Once upon a time, the media held some responsibility in terms of accountability for public officials, and that has taken a dive.
Yeah.
What's your take on that in terms of the role of the media and how it's changed? I mean, yeah, you and Charlie can go, you knock on the doors, and it gets results, but the mainstream media has just pretty much become a cheering section for elected officials.
Celebrities don't want the drama. The media wants to keep advertising, and churches don't know if they're coming or going. So we're now left as a society to find people with balls to do what these institutions used to do. It's a different world.
Now, I was tell people where they can find your work.
Investigate and Advocate on YouTube is where I pretty much broadcast things. But basically, throw your hat in there. I'm coming. If you want to find me, throw your hat up.
The reason I say it is because you got a methodology. You got a camera on yourself. You present, you rattle them, and then when the confrontation comes, you do hit them with facts. That's the unthought about part of everybody trying to be out there and be noticed, right? Which is that guy. You owe yourself $11 million. Nobody gets it right. Nobody wants to do that. So when you're in Flint, oh shit. Okay. No, dude. The guy was listening. I'm going to call him the guy. Former Fed. Auditor. He does the financial auditing. Fed. He's working big someplace out of state. He's donated his services. He heard when I was talking about, you talked about the water, $1 billion in water crisis money just evaporated, $94 million in the ARPA, right? $259 million in the mega airport, $150 million for the school district, pipe contracts, garbage contracts, the death of 2 children, that lawsuit, the fire chief's lawsuit.
And they worried about a casket. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, they're worried about a casket.
And by the way, though, can I say this though? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No.
But they did treat me well though, in the county considering the conditions. Now I wasn't by myself, but they were respectful. So
what'd you have for lunch?
That's what I was going to ask.
I wasn't eating that shit.
So they didn't treat you that
the
well.
food ain't great. Now they knew
Okay.
they work on the food. I like the inmates explained to me what was coming. They even explained the flop down peanut butter, and I was like thinking it was a joke until I saw the flop down peanut butter. So no.
We're getting ahead of it though. So the part I meant is when you went to the church and the church is aligned with the mayor and you're looking at the paperwork and then you start quoting what the church is getting for the cell phone tower contract.
Not the church.
Cell phone tower contract.
The pastor, not the church. The pastor.
Mm-hmm,
wow.
Mm-hmm. And you start seeing that you know your shit.
God is good.
And there's so much there, right? And they're starting to worry because you're rattling the cage. Then you went to the mayor's house. Explain your order.
But in the middle of that, the pastor goes to get a personal order of protection against me, and the court gives it to him. Based on what? And then he says, I don't know, bulletproof vest. Like, what the fuck? I've never ever seen it in my life. And so the issue is that I didn't start going to people directly to the house. I went to the city hall and I requested, that's why the body camera's there, you can't lie. I requested a meeting with the mayor 3-4 times. I called the pastor, can I talk to you? I went to the councilwoman's house, can I talk to you? I went to city council to speak, can I talk to you? But they look at people who are not in these positions of power as if they're beneath them. They think that government is their wheelhouse to do their will and not to actually engage and represent. These are not people, and what really bothers me is that everybody could be upset about Trump, but the people who I've been having to deal with, they look like me, they're local, and guess what? They come from a party that I was always told had my back. And that's why I'm more independent in my thinking, because it's bullshit. Right. And so now I'm showing people when they ignore you and when they abuse their power and weaponize their government, still show up, but show up directly where they are, have your information in order, and let everybody see the truth. Because America doesn't know. The people of Flint cemented in this because America don't know. We're thinking y'all taking fucking baths and drinking water that's better than spring because we were told shit was good, and it was a lie. And it's sad.
So in your work, has anyone, because a lot of times people, they start out as community advocates or activists, and they quietly get paid off. And they continue to do the work, but they're playing the game. Have you ever been approached by any organization or entity or even an individual in an attempt to quiet you down by paying you off?
George Soros?
Every year I get offered things, but this is the thing. So I want people to understand, because of the way sometimes the public misrepresents or mistreats you, it's why advocates, they'll take it. However, I want to be clear here. I am of the Harold Washington mentality. Take the money, vote for who you believe in. I don't get paid off, and I don't necessarily make deals that sell my autonomy or that compromise my voice. And I will be very clear. If I'm going to engage with anybody that is willing to resource, because it takes resources, I'll do it, but it's going to be according to me. You'll never redirect me, but you always offer stuff.
Yeah.
I was just asking because, but some people, it gets them to, abandon their mission and, compromise their integrity. They take the money and then they change the conversation, or they're not sincere about it.
But if you go online and asking for people to contribute, then it's go get a job. And then what the hell you think I'm going to do when I go to jail? I need a lawyer. So, people, you're not going to do this if it's not really in you. Unfortunately for me, I've been doing it all my life. I'm kind of stuck. I don't have any more.
So do you rely on public contributions? What do you do for resources to continue your work?
So what I've been fortunate enough to have is a core group. So I have Investigate and Advocate, and it's made of professionals and people who believe in the work. They help fund it. Sometimes we actually do fundraise for a specific thing, and or if we find somebody who is philanthropic and they like the work, believe it or not, people like it. They'll contribute. And we'll take it and do the work.
All right. Where do they contribute? Go ahead. Do a plug.
Oh, wait. And YouTube is pretty cool because now the platform generates a little income for us to get stuff done. So there's many ways. I'm not like Charlie. I'm trying to get there.
So what happened last week when you were supposed to be here?
So the craziest thing happened to me in America, right? Like I found out that mayors are like little dictators too, right? So basically the Flint police went out of their jurisdiction to arrest me for disorderly conduct.
Go back to like you got arrested Tuesday night. Yeah.
I mean, you
Tuesday night.
Okay. When you kind of in Genesee County, you don't remember the days. What day was it?
It's Tuesday night. Tuesday night, but Monday you let him march to the mayor's house. Apparently that's where he lives, right?
I think I did the march on. So if I did a march, whenever I did the march, it was a whole 2 days later that I got arrested.
Okay, so you did a march with people.
Yeah.
To the mayor's house.
35 people.
35 people. You're carrying a casket. Yeah. And a bullhorn. The death of Flint. No, you're doing this.
Canceling the funeral of Flint, right? Yeah.
The funeral of Flint. Him and 35 citizens and people that believe in what he's doing. They go there and police followed.
So we went there and
it's important though. The police were with you.
The police literally drove with us from City Hall all the way to the mayor's house. They told us we had to do it lawfully. We complied. They told us we needed to go on the sidewalk. They even said they knew where we were going. It was crazy. And when I said along our route, they said, yeah, what, to the mayor's house? We know where you're going. Okay, cool. You got me. We got you. I said, y'all put a little lights to sirens. No, we ain't doing that. We're just going to make sure everybody does it safely and lawfully. Mm-hmm. So we get to the mayor's house. We're doing a very small, not even long demonstration. And I'm explaining, we're canceling the funeral of Flint, what that means.
On a bullhorn.
On the bullhorn, yeah. We even gave an alley-oop to the police. We said they're not making enough money. They're getting recruited to other stations. I looked over. He looked like he wanted to. And so the next thing I know, I'm gone. It's over with. The job is done. We talked to the neighbors. And 2 days later.
Yeah, wait, and then you dispersed?
Dispersed.
You went ahead, you had a nice sandwich?
No drama, no peace. Got me a coney dog, bro.
But you got a coney from where?
Yeah, I'm a taxpayer. So it's a place that's out there in Flint. They swear they got better conies than Detroit.
Oh,
we gotta figure this out.
But not better than American.
You'll figure it out after the show.
Okay, so
we'll get that taken care of.
So basically, we good. Nothing is going on. I'm chilling. The election happens.
Did you get fries with that coney?
The election happens. I did not. I don't remember.
You didn't get a Verner's. He had his first Verner's.
Really? That's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
But he tried to give me diet though. It's crazy.
But it's in the can.
But Verner's that's top notch. That's top shelf.
We're just getting them ready for Michigan. Okay, so you dispersed. Now it's 2 days. It's 2.5 days later.
It's 2.5. It's
nighttime.
If anybody filed a complaint, it sure as hell was past the time that I should have been hunted down. Okay, so we left there and we are cool. The election happens. You know, this is the election where the third ward is voting for who's going to be the council person.
For in Flint, city councils had a vacant seat, so it was 4 and 4. And because of that, the mayor's got an iron fist. He got a block of 4, and it was a real Flint-wide effort. Like third ward, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We need you.
Can I pause there and put them intimation? I freaking love the Council of Flint, the ones that are standing up because they bout it, like Jeffrey Winter Carter, Jonathan Todd, Dennis Pfeiffer, and Tanya Burns. They're not just like up there legislating. They're in the community, standing alongside advocates and community people, like really giving it a voice. So the mayor has 4 people who are challenging him, and he has 4 people who are doing everything that he wants them to do. So they need this 5th seat to be filled, which is the third ward. And this third ward seat literally makes or breaks if it's going to happen for the people or for the administration.
If we're going to look in what happened to the ARPA money, if we're going to look what happened with the garbage hauling, the pipe contract, the children that died. My audience knows Flint.
Keep going.
Okay, but that's the deal. Are we going to know or are we not?
Keep going.
Right? So the election happens.
And mayor's pick loses.
By how many votes?
I think like 4, 5, 6, something like that.
3.
3? 3. I gave her more than she deserved.
Wow.
You know what's crazy about it? So the charter has dictated what happens with this whole ordeal. The dysfunction of the council is absolutely crazy. However, the mayor creates a completely different role that does not exist in the charter of an ambassador. It's not a lawful position. He parades her around. She gets new siding on her house, and she's walking around, and she's in official city posters doing ribbon cuttings and all kind of stuff. Still loses. Mayor's mad. As soon as I leave the watch party of the lady who I'm supporting, which is Beverly Biggs, we get in our cars, and the people in hindsight, Charlie, this is the most bogus thing they've ever done to me. So now the people in hindsight, once I get out of jail, say, oh my God, I saw the cops lurking around. They was following everybody. Well, why the hell nobody told me? You see the police, you're supposed to run and tell everybody. So anyway, so basically, I get in my truck. I'm a passenger. I get in my truck. We're going to Walmart because I got to get a new power cord because I got to do my show to tell everybody Beverly won. And on our way to Walmart, we're in Grand Blanc. We get lit up. I'm yelling at the driver. Like, dude, did you run a light? What the hell is going on? What the hell, Leonte? So then he's like, I didn't do anything. I get pulled over. The cop comes to the car and immediately says, Jedidiah, get out. You're going to jail. You're under arrest.
Hey, we got that video? Mm-hmm. Let's play it.
Excuse me?
You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest?
Yes, sir.
Why would I be under arrest?
You said what?
Why am I under arrest?
You're under arrest for disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace?
We're going to make this easy. I'm going to have you step out. You're going to crawl over. Okay?
You're arresting me for disturbing the peace.
Yes,
where?
Yes, sir. You're under arrest.
What city are you from?
City of Flint Police.
Name and badge number.
You said what?
Name and badge
number. Go ahead and
number.
step out of the car.
That's fine. Here you go. Keep this for me. He's not stepping out, I am, right?
If you can get out on that side. I only ask that he steps out if you got to crawl over.
Okay. Let me crawl over and make sure. Here. Disturbing the peace.
Yes, sir.
That's a ticket.
That is a ticket. That's not Flint. There's no warrant. You're not driving. So what the fuck? Was this a secret squad?
The 10 hit Ghost Squad, the 10 Hitman Squad. And it's so sad, bro, because this is America.
Yeah.
This is America. Wow. That's what it really bothers me when I think about the word, because this is America. Like, this is a ticketable offense. Not only did you hunt me down and put me under surveillance, it's past the 24-hour mark. So if there was a complainant, you got to go get a warrant. They didn't have a warrant. He didn't want to identify himself. And I just think about if I was to fight back on any level, they would have had justifications for beating me, killing me. This was dangerous in a lot of ways.
For the record, I don't fucking like this at all.
And people think I hate cops, and I don't.
No,
I actually am fair. But this is the part that really tripped me out. Do you know they towed my vehicle?
Yes, I did.
They towed my truck.
Wow.
It wasn't driving.
I wasn't driving. It wasn't a traffic stop. There was no warrant.
Let's do it again. If they had a warrant, if this was legal, if they were in Flint, okay. Why would you tow the car? He didn't run a red.
So what happened to the driver? What did they do with him?
They were going to leave him on the side of the road, but the councilwoman, Tanya Burns, pulled up. She got a call, and they gave him a ride. And I gave him permission to drive my truck. His license is valid. The vehicle is insured. And again, no warrant. So what they then do is throw me in jail and try to go get a warrant. They did it in reverse.
So they put you in jail and then got a warrant.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm assuming there's a timestamp in all this.
Yes, has to be.
Because I don't know if you agree. That's not legal.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
This is. Ooh.
But it tells you that this is the way that they think they can govern and police their community.
No, this is the way they do it. And like you said, it's not how they think they can, they do it. And it's not just there. You said this is America. I said, yeah, that's a double-edged sword because it happens all over the place. Yours just happens to be a little more visible than most. This is what happens. Not all the time.
And that's scary.
But it happens. It is scary.
Because he made it visible.
Exactly.
Like, scary. Like, you don't need this. You showed up and go, let me fucking show you in real time with my Tony Stark fucking camera here. You know what I mean? Let me show you. And it's like, what the fuck? I tried for a fucking decade on that water. I would like to say that I was the first guy in public not the people that put the whole plot together. And it was during COVID. I'm looking at all these boxes. It was maybe the 10-year anniversary. It's done. And it broke my heart to dump it all.
But nobody has gone to jail. Nobody's been penalized.
Nobody did a day.
No problem has, other than you, but no problem has been resolved. The water is not resolved. People have not been made whole.
People are dead.
Exactly. And so it just, all the celebrities came in for the photo ops and, made good. Even Obama took a sip of water, at the press conference, and everything was supposed to be fine. It goes back to the narrative that's pushed by the media, which differs from the reality that these people live every day.
And when I tell you that the mainstream media in that area is compromised, they will report nothing if they're not doing anything. I've never seen this type of setting. And even when we paid money for a billboard, do you know that they refused to put the billboard up saying that they needed Mayor Neely's approval? What? He doesn't own the land. He doesn't own the company.
Wait, this is funny. Crazy. He buys a billboard where the mayor's a clown. The mayor's actually a clown. And the billboard company, got to clear it with the mayor, comes up with the excuse, well, that is beyond satire. That is attacking an individual, and you can't do that to him. Okay. Jedidiah is a really smart man. He says, okay, how about I got a new one? The mayor's hugging a clown.
Did they take that one?
The mayor didn't know. The mayor would not approve it, so he goes in.
Does the mayor need to approve a billboard from a private company?
Free speech is America.
It's on his Tony Stark shit. He goes in to get his money, and they won't give him his money. So they called the police on that one.
Can't make this up. We actually ended up mailing it, right? We ended up having to buy a mailer to send it to the houses of the residents. So I made sure that we sent him one too.
You need to be putting this in a screenplay because this sounds like something that should be watched.
But it's scary. It's actually scary.
It's scary
because they're literally, and so knowing all of this, they've never been confused about me being there, who I am, and why I'm there. The state rep, who never goes to work here, by the way, the mayor's wife, she says she likens an American value as terrorism, and that she's shaking in her boots.
Oh, what he's saying, when he went to the mayor's house, and I was never sure he actually lived there. So
I'm not either.
We got to have an answer.
Some things.
Maybe she was there. Maybe she was.
Lights was off.
She told the authorities she feared for her life,
shaking in her boots.
So the word, you correct us if it's not, something like terrorism. They were going to charge you with some kind of felony.
They tried to charge me with a felony.
What kind of felony?
I don't know what the felony was, but the prosecutor's office denied it because they knew it was Bush shit.
Yeah.
The cussing thing.
It's in the name. Don't worry about it. But a felony rap. And they held you for how long?
They held me for a day and a half. They were trying to hold me for 72 because apparently that's what happens. But you know what was crazy is that when I got in this jail, all of the guys in the jail surrounded me and started talking to me. They didn't know who I was, but everybody's story matched. Being oppressed by the police department, being put in there. Once they get in there, there's this PFI put on them being made to be held to the very last hour and held for 72 hours, sometimes without a charge, without a phone call, without a wristband, without anything. Like, this is the way. So this is why everybody kept telling me when they lock you up here, they disappear you. They were trying to hold me as long as they could, but the people were coming. It wasn't possible. And the prosecutor's office didn't do their bidding. But I was so heartbreaking when the judge in my bail condition said to me, you can't go to City Hall. What is going on?
So to tie it back to the top of the program, I got a congressman. This Wayne County, dude. That's Detroit. It's Wayne County jail. We got, I don't have the accurate number to date, right? But it was real a year ago. 120 dudes in jail waiting for a trial, more than 18 months. This is the stuff that I want my Congress. That's your absolute God-given right to a speedy trial. And we're doing what? What are we doing? AP can't go to a fucking press conference? Well, this is the facts.
But this is the landscape that we live in right now. I mean, unfortunately, and it is.
You know what? David Simon, he wrote The Wire. Remember The Wire? The greatest. But he was a Baltimore Sun reporter, and he wrote a book called Homicide, and that turned into the TV show. He said this: with the collapse of the funding of mainstream media. Oh. Man, going to get me.
How elementary, Charlie.
Somebody go put some change in the parking meter. Could you do it for me, please? Because that's the only thing that works in Detroit is the parking department. Oh, and by the way, I know we're gonna have a we'll get to that. We're hosting a mayoral debate. I know this, that the meter maids, the parking attendants, now have been put in charge of the A-bands, the abandoned vehicles, without police protection. So it's worth noting about 2 weeks ago that the state police came upon a dude's house. He was running a stolen car ring, knocked on his door or pulled up. He came out and blasted him, hit the cop 4 times, cop dropped him dead. And you want the parking meter attendants to handle this. This is the bullshit going on. You know, telling me this?
Elections matter.
The employees. There's no one to help.
Elections matter.
Oh, elections matter, man.
They do.
They really do.
And they are becoming increasingly more important because, like you said, people that are supposed to represent people don't care. It's all about me and no we. They are not public servants. They are self-servants. And that's what's happening. And people, I think, just don't know what to do anymore. Like, what do they do? Like you said, you march and nobody paid attention. And just the average resident is like, okay, so what do? We call you to.
And I think that what Charlie said is profound, right? Because he said something about,
of course, it is
funding. This guy. So he said something
he's modest.
about funding issues with mainstream media. I can tell this is because they want to protect some type of sponsorship or some type of access. Like they're literally, even the media is subject to the corruption of the region. And when I first met him, he was actually coming highlighting the stuff that we were going through in Chicago. After his interview, we were able to sit down with, I think, then Mayor Emanuel and work on solutions for the community. The media is vital.
Really? No, really?
Guessing.
Really? No, honestly.
Because I remember when I went down there, Southside, we're talking to dudes at Southside eating each other alive. And we were supposed to have a meeting with Rahm Emanuel, and that motherfucker ran away. We got him running away.
He didn't meet with you.
Do you know why Rahm Emanuel does not eat chicken? Because that would make him a cannibal.
And I'll never forget it. So like when I found out and hear you here, and like you were still willing to not like ignore this, it just reaffirmed my love for you, because I'm like, Charlie he's gonna push the envelope and he's gonna let the unpopular things be seen. And I think people need to see, and they are.
But like you, and I've said this for as long as I've known him, he does his homework, and that makes the difference. You've got people that, report. Like I said, there was a reporter that mentioned a couple weeks ago, like, wow, I didn't know that Dan Gilbert moved to Detroit in 2007. Like, why would you be talking about Dan Gilbert and not know when that's just a small thing, but it's a microcosm of the approach. They talk about what's in front of them. They repeat the talking points. They recite the press releases. They run, screenshots and of the press conferences. And there's no backstory. There's no research. And
you can, but the testament of it is, again, I'm coming fresh out of jail. I don't want to hear nothing. I stink and I'm hungry. Okay, I don't care about nothing. But to have the sheriffs as they're, taking me out of my bond, say, make sure you tell the truth about how we treated you here, because Charlie thinks we had you in solitary. I'm like, that's what we say. that's the number one message. So I appreciated it. And like I said, and I just got to keep saying it, they were extremely kind to me. They really were. They were very respectful. Even some of the sheriffs was like, wait, you're here for what? Isn't this ticketable? Mm-hmm. Like even the sheriffs was a little like thrown off or bewildered. And so it matters. So I want to take a moment. I don't have any flowers with me, Charlie, because I gave them all away on Mother's Day. But if I ask them, I'll give them to you. Thank you for having a no bullshit network, because it matters. It helps.
Well, hey, there you go, Sheriff Swanson. He was solitary.
He was alone.
But not in the stir, not in the dungeon. And the peanut butter is just let's fix that.
I ain't getting away with peanut butter. Peanut butter's fucked up. But don't mess with them, Charlie, because I feel like they might try to send me back. I ain't trying to go to solitary now.
Now, I wonder if Sheriff Swanson, who's running for governor, is going to march with you on June 1st, which is a Sunday. That's coming up. What's going on with the march, man?
I think that would be mind-blowing if anybody will help make sure that the truth is out there, right? And that is, we're not coming for chaos or disruption. There are people coming from around the country who saw what you just showed, and it's very concerning. And now that the truth is starting to get out about what's happening in not just Flint, but in the state of Michigan, people are saying, look, we can't go backwards. We need to continue to move forward. And people now, when people know better, they'll do better. And when people are aware, they'll show up.
What's the march for? What time
we're
is
going to
it?
be marching from City Hall.
You can't go in there.
I was going to say, did they tell you not to go back?
I can't go within 500 feet. So I'll be 500 feet away.
That would be across the street.
Waving at everybody, right? I'll still be there.
You'd be like Eric Mays on Inauguration Day from the 4th Florida County doing his 30 days for drunk driving. That should have been his office.
So what you're going to see, though, there are mayors from around America who are about to release videos in the coming weeks in support. And they're going to talk about their experience when I came in their town. You have 3 police chiefs who are coming to Flint who know for a fact that what they saw was excessive and wrong. You have like one. One of the things that's really tripped me out is the amount of white support. I've never seen this before.
Well, you said it wrong. That's
Caucasian?
No. You say it like this.
Because he was thinking about
I
it.
gotta
Like,
figure out how to say it. No,
wait a minute, is that the right word? Like, is it, like African American, black? What do we call you?
What has been happening in this country forever is that we have been pitted against each other for all kind of reasons that has taken away from who we really are. A country of diversity. We sectioned off. We don't know about each other's pain, and we don't care about each other's pain. So to come to Michigan and see the amount of fearless white people who I'm running into, and they said, I got your back. For me, it's a culture shock. I've always had to look at white people as a part of the power that I fight. And it pains me when I know what we've come from and I'm looking at black people mistreat communities with black people and how hard it was for other people, for Sheldon Needy, bald-headed ass, to get in that seat. It blows my mind. And for him to think he's a king and not a mayor of a city. If he was on some real shit, because now I feel like I can cuss, he would be trying to make America aware that his city has been suffering with 11 years. But he's actually trying to exploit the pain and the blight so he can enrich himself, because he's a bully and a tyrant. But now he met a man, a black man, who ain't afraid of his jail, his police. His police have one leg. Chase me, catch me. Okay, and I'm not afraid of his money because we got support. And it's white people, it's Republican, it's Democrat, it's rich, it's poor, educated, uneducated, political, non-political. What's happening right now, 200 people at minimum is what I'm saying. It's going to be in Flint on June 1st.
What time?
And the time, you got to give me some time now.
Come on now.
We organize. We're going to be there all day. We're planning it, but we're letting them know.
Around noon,
around late afternoon.
There is no such thing as around. What time is it?
We're going to start mustering at noon.
Okay, we'll be there at 2.
2 o'clock. All right.
2 o'clock. And where are we marching to?
We're going to from City Hall through the city. We're putting the route up to show what's actually happening in Flint. There's no threat. We're not fighting anybody, and we're demanding that the police will protect our constitutional rights. We're going to show at the doorstep what's going on there. So
but it's a really big city.
Yeah,
and I don't want to do more than a mile. I mean, a half a mile. Can we just go go around? We go get a Coney and come back.
Are you coming?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh God.
Just meet him at the finish line. Do like people doing it when they cheat. Just meet him and say,
I'm a middle distancer, bro.
It's a big city, but that's why we're trying to make sure that we do this as effective as possible. I don't want to be too fast with the details, and we're also giving them an opportunity to do the right thing.
Okay.
So
we'll tell you what we'll do here.
I'm gonna rent a flatbed too, so the casket, when people are tired, we'll just
casket. Oh man, it's the greatest.
I'm bringing the casket back.
During it was 2016. And Trump had come to town. Remember, he's at the church. Well, you might not remember. And I was filming a bit for A&E. And I got a tractor trailer. Like, the milk, gasoline, those great big... Tanker. I got it full of fresh water. And we set up showers. And I paid my money to set up the showers at City Hall. And then they took it away and I went into City Hall. I said, motherfucker, I want my $25 back. So apparently... disturbing the peace. And the police were looking for me. And I'm on the run. In a tractor trailer full of water, and the tanker is chrome. You can't miss it. right? So I'm going, we're trying to avoid the police, and then Trump's rolling into the water department, and then we're trying to follow Trump in the tractor trailer to the church with the police chasing me. That's that town. Because here's the heartbreaking bit. You don't really think about it. All the details when you get to a town, there were children who hadn't been alive that had ever been in a sprinkler. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're 5 years old, never got to run around, and we set one up, which was cool. It was a gesture, but it didn't solve any fucking thing in that town or this town.
But you can't be in trouble for disturbing the peace because there is no peace. So you're not disturbing the peace. There is none. I mean, these people aren't at peace.
Well, let's invert the phrase. There'll be peace when you get some justice.
There are ordinances around these things. Noise have to be out for a certain time. There are parameters to marching, sidewalk, public ways. You can't be confrontational with a person. That's why governments don't have the right to sign a complaint. I have a complaint signed against it's me versus the city of Flint. Who was the person? I've never seen this type of level of corruption.
No guts.
I've never seen this. So
that all gets thrown out, but we're going to keep it alive. You know what's good about this? You get to do the day and a half, not me. But I'm for it, dude.
But it's a stain on there. It's a stain on Flint forever.
I want to just move for a second. What we're doing now with this is done it long enough. Well, it's really Karen, I mean, she's got a reputation here. So we are hosting
a good one, don't they?
A really good one. But the No Bullshit News Hour, May 22nd at 6 o'clock at the Wayne County Community College District Northwest Campus. Right. Go on our social media. It's going to be live streamed, but everybody's invited. It's Thursday, May 22nd, 6 o'clock. First come, first serve on that seating, right?
Right.
And we've got all...
No registration required. Just show up.
Right. And we've got all candidates.
Yes. We have 8 candidates. So someone asked me yesterday if the write-in candidates were there, and I said, no, I'm not familiar with that. But we have 8 candidates. We're going to split them up into 2 panels so that we can have a substantive discussion with them, and they're not talking over each other. So the first, we're going to have them draw, a number for which panel they're going to be on. And we're going to have an in-depth and substantive discussion with the people that want to lead this city.
Well, as much as you can in 50 minutes with 4 candidates.
We can. Right? If you ask the right questions, you can. I mean, I don't think
let's
they have.
Let's be honest, as much as you can, though.
As much as we can, but I think
just this. I feel like we haven't gotten deep enough with him. And that's 50 minutes, one man.
But there's always more. But the thing about it is, and people know this, they said, between Charlie, and James, we got James Dixon from Michigan Enjoyer. The questions will dictate the kind of response that we get. Like when you ask Shri, where's Hitsville? What about, those are things, they seem simple, but they reveal a lot.
Oh, so. I was watching our friends and family sitting over here. When you're from here and I ask you, where's Hitsville? What? Especially UK, you went.
Yeah, but there's certain things you're supposed to know. That's like when people say, oh, I'm from Detroit. It's one question that you can ask. Which side? And if they say anything other than east or west, that's it for me. So, yeah, there are things that you're supposed to know. So we'll see.
So that's exciting. It's really exciting. And it should be.
It'll be good.
It'll be good. And again, go to Karen's social media, mine, what you can find it. We've posted it. It is Thursday, May 22nd. Try to get there at 5:30.
Please do, because we are going to start on time.
Comedian Detroit Red will be working the room. We're starting on time and we're ending on time.
Yep.
I love it.
And if you come late, we don't have no problem with it.
SOL.
Just you're standing in the back, right?
And I cannot vote here, and I've not been called to Detroit, but I'm going to fly back to make sure that I'm here because I'm an American. We should all care about what's going on. I'll be here.
Please do.
I will be here.
Because we could have talked to you.
May 22nd.
We could have had a conversation with you about Detroit for this past administration. So, we're going to hope that we don't need you next, but we may.
My main thing, though, right, is if you do the math, and again, a lot of dudes on YouTube got podcasts, all that. We're the new media. You don't do the math, dude. You don't do the math, so you're just yelling.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for all the ridiculous, fake Biden money, COVID money, we'd be bankrupt. So when you're talking about Mayor of Flint, I'm talking Mayor of Detroit, it's a mirage because it's not coming again. So what are we going to do? It's got to get fixed now or we're real fucked.
Oh, God. You're right.
I'm Grace Karros, and I'm third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
You know, your teeth can't heal, but the stock market can. That's just a fact. The market roller coaster is making you grind your teeth. Call or text my friend Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748. We're all hanging on to this ride like Gayle King and Katy Perry. Just hang on to your flower. Some people are saying that the earth will be better when this is all over. Luke Nowacki, Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. Are you an aging senior wondering where you'll end up? Are you a son or a daughter wishing your mom or dad lived closer to home? Are you a caregiver with good heart and good character, but you feel stuck in a dead-end job? Are you a social entrepreneur looking for a safe real estate investment within a fast-growing market? Well, consider contacting Archangel Senior Management. Archangel offers a solution and a vision to compete with big corporate senior living communities. Call Archangel at 989-614-0316.
Well, you know, when it rains, the power goes out. And when the power goes out, the internet goes out. When the internet goes out, I call my friend Matt and Bernie at XG Service Group. Look at Bernie here on his hands and knees, giving it everything he's got. Look at that man crack. So busy, he forgot to wear a belt. There's Matt right there getting the board together. That's 734-245-4100 if you need Matt and Bernie to come take care of your voice over internet, your security cameras, off-campus access control, Wi-Fi, and cameras for homes and business. They'll design it for you. You got restaurants, they do drive-through systems, railroad cameras for public safety, total wireless camera systems for your home and business. Yeah, that's right. Call XG Services at 734-245-4100. The Menendez brothers. Mark?
Yeah.
Give us the update. Breaking news, Mark.
Well, the update would be that they are resentenced.
Pause. I got to explain to Jed who you are.
Wait a minute. Really?
He's our TMZ guy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hit me. Breaking news. He's the pop culture shit.
So they were...
Wait, give me the breaking news.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Come on. Fix it in post.
If it works. It's not working.
I just heard it.
I don't know why it's not playing through the board. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I'll add it in post. Yeah, they were resentenced to up to 50 years, which means 50 years to life, but available for parole, which means they'll have a parole hearing, and they'll probably be out sometime at the end of this year. Mind you, these are two guys that walked in on their parents with shotguns and blew them away. And for the money. I mean, they went on a lavish spending spree. Right after bought watches, ended up on a basketball card with Mark Jackson on it. It's a real famous picture. And they became a cause celeb on TikTok, kind of like Dahmer did.
After the Netflix series. Because they claimed abuse by Jose Menendez, their father. And there was a letter. They decided they were afraid of their dad. He abused them their whole life. They had to murder him.
Yeah.
And since mom's sitting there, take her out too.
Well, yeah, if you buy their story.
Well, now here's the deal with this, which is...
I don't buy their story. But.
The deal is when they did it, Lyle was 21 and Eric was 18, right?
Yes.
And they got life without parole in California. The Supreme Court in 2012 ruled that if you're under 18, that your brain's still forming and that's cruel and unusual punishment. You should be entitled at some point maybe to see the light of day, right?
Sure.
Okay. So the Supreme Court in Michigan last month decided that 19 and 20-year-olds brains are still forming. So they just unilaterally decided it that they all within 6 months, this is 600 people, like 40 in Flint, 400 in Detroit or Wayne County. In 6 months, got to be retried, resentenced, or reconsidered. There's not enough time in the universe, especially when all assistant prosecutors are quitting because it's a shit job. It doesn't pay. So that's great, right? We can all yell about Lyle and what the fuck is it, Eric?
Sure. Yeah.
Eric.
But we got 600.
Yep.
And how long did it take them to adjudicate that? A long time.
A long time, yeah.
And we just unilaterally did
and
it.
that's what the power of TikTok behind them, a loud, screaming, mass of people.
That's our Supreme Court. They're elected as Jedidiah Brown, country's advocate. investigate and advocate, said elections matter. They're going to be retried. Let's have a real one.
Yeah.
Not just putting fuckers back in the community.
Yep.
There's already a bunch of guys waiting for trial.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And neither do they. They don't.
All right, so last word to you, bro. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still like trying to like take it in. Now I want to go check out the Menendez brothers. I know nothing about this.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Do it on the flight.
Like I don't know.
Just
like,
not on TikTok.
Like take your parents out and then go shopping. It's
You've
crazy.
never heard that story?
That's diabolical. No.
Wow.
Dude, they made
I'm not on TikTok though.
No,
go to
TikTok.
Netflix.
This is-
They made a docudrama. It wasn't even a documentary. It was a docudrama.
I mean, this was huge when it happened.
I can never like watch Netflix because I'm always marching
not
or in
even-
jail.
It's all before. It's all before that. I mean, the father was like some huge record executive or entertainment executive. I mean, it was a huge story.
Beverly Hills, California.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
I mean, Lyle Menendez's toupee was worse than Shri Thanedar.
What?
That's his hair.
Shri's
That is
his
his
real hair.
That's what Lyle said.
But I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I'll tell you when we get on.
no.
Nope,
Just
I'm
tell-
not saying it.
just whisper.
I'm not.
Just-
I'm not saying it. Nope, you can't make me. Kirby said no. I'm not saying it.
All right, listen, because next Thursday at 6 o'clock, here's the new media, and I say we're the new press, not the new media. The new press is taking over the old press. We're going to do the debate that's boring to everybody. And you know they're going to do this on Mackinac Island?
Only with limited number of participants. They didn't even invite all the candidates.
Exactly.
They left Todd Perkins off, and I don't know who else they left off.
Todd Perkins, who's polling higher than people they're letting on.
Well, I'll tell you this, in all honesty, I get a lot of calls, a lot of texts, a lot of stuff, and people like Todd and they want to see more of him.
Yeah.
They really do. So the numbers that people are polling, polls don't vote. And I'd like to listen to the conversation in the street. And so
and who pays for the polls and all that bullshit? There's a million things going on, but we don't deal with the rich crowd because they manipulate. Like I said, I say it once, I say it a million times. This is Flint. You know deeply, deeply who runs Flint. I'll leave it here for, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, well, I'd leave it at that. A lot of money in poverty, dude. And that's really the deal is like.
It is.
People know, but they don't know, and they need somebody.
But they want to keep you to not know because they benefit from you not knowing. That's the thing with the churches. That's the thing with all these organizations that don't solve the problems that they're paid to solve. I mean, they don't.
Because that's actually the way that they're doing it, through the nonprofits and through the philanthropy. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how they're stealing all the money.
And then they say, what, did you get progress? No, man, no, motherfucker, that ain't it at all. You're against progress.
I mean, what problem has been solved or even the needle really been moved, in all honesty? We're still talking about, illiteracy. We're still talking about home insecurity, food insecurity. What have we done? Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think you're a lovely co-host, by the way, or a lovely guest.
She's the co-host, dude.
Okay. You're a lovely co-host.
I told him I was a guest.
I love
Thank you.
You're like calm. He's the storm. I love it. So
thank you.
And you guys got a beautiful live audience that was here on time. So that was pretty awesome. And I just thank you guys. And I want to say this one thing though. There's this notion of geographic, of why would a person come to another area. I need just everybody to remember we are the United States of America, and Flint has to matter to this nation because if we can deal with it here, we create a model to deal with it anywhere. And what in the way that the nation is going, we need to empower our independent journalists, and we need to show up for each other and stop the excuses, color, background, creed, sexuality, all that stuff. We need to start talking and figure out where's our common ground, because that's what the power of America is, and we should just do it legally. No pun intended.
Are we having a show? Are we having a show next Wednesday? Short one.
Yeah, I think we should.
Why don't we do a short?
A little bit. But you know what I do want to do, Charlie? I want to be able to talk about what we took away from our forum on the following show, even if it's just a thumbnail. I really want us to have a conversation. Maybe James could come in. I'd like for us to do that.
Can we just get through it?
This show is lit. He really lit the cigarette. I know it was a prop.
No, it's not a prop, and he'd be smoking something else. No, it's not a prop.
Oh my God!
I don't smoke something else.
I know. I just thought it was a prop. He's been holding the cigarette the whole time. But when he
she
lit
hates
it,
when I smoke.
When he lit it, it took me out.
There's nothing about Charlie or this show that is a prop.
This is my new favorite. This is my favorite. I literally have. I just came into the full knowledge of the show. I will be watching this every time.
We got to get you caught up
I
on a lot of
guarantee.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be out
Living
there.
under a
We'll
rock.
be out there. You like that little? See, here's what we do. We do our own journalism. So Shri Thanedar, that's Ken Beck over there. He's the editor of it. We do our own, and we go from there. That's it, right? We're not. It's not like every other. You do your own stuff. Not like everybody else talking about what everybody else is talking about. Excellent. All right, so. Okay, let's be honest with the audience.
All right.
We're only going to be here Wednesday to promote the debate
Right.
Thursday. All right, that's all. We got so much shit
No,
to
we got a
do.
lot
It's,
to do.
Oh, it's nuts. I didn't know.
That's okay.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Details matter, and we're checking all the boxes. We're going to make sure that it's right for the candidates, for the residents, for those who are watching, and for us.
Don't forget the people that died from Legionnaires that they're not admitting. Don't forget that. All right. See you next week.